There are many amazing musical devices an artist can employ to give their song that final push into the stratosphere. Perhaps it's a particularly juicy harmony, maybe it's a perfectly timed dropout, or perhaps it's a bold new idea introduced into the final section. These are all clever and valid options, but the key to my heart, my personal musical nirvana, comes in the form of something much simpler. The humble key change. There is no better way to circle back to a final rousing chorus or raise the emotional stakes at the exact moment a song needs it than a bold, cheek-tensing key change. So, join me as we take a trip through 10 heart-stopping key changes to give you chills. Just a couple of honorable mentions to get us started, because I'm sure there are many, many classic, amazing songs that do use this trait, but, you know, a couple of them I found to be just a little bit too obvious. Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi, what a song. It's an utter classic. That key change at the end is absolutely like nail-bitingly good. It just completely kicks what is otherwise this amazing party, classic and a glam rock anthem into another gear, but it feels like everyone knows that. That's such a safe pick. So the other one I wanted to mention was Welcome to the Black Parade. Now, I am definitely not like a big My Chem guy. I didn't catch it when it came out. I didn't really have an emo phase. I discovered metal in the form of like Metallica and stuff when I was like 18. I was a bit of a late bloomer. So I just kind of never really hit My Chem at the right moment, but I have heard that song a bunch of times, and I do really like it. It's got a really, really, really good chorus. It just keeps on looping on that, we carry on. It's iconic, and then just kicking that upper key is definitely, you know, it's jaw-dropping. I imagine in a live setting with thousands of other people singing it along with you at the same time. That really must be quite a euphoric moment. But again, I'm not going to wave the false flag of being a My Chem fan, so I'm going to leave that one out there too. But both of them are absolutely, like, perfect in the spirit of what I'm going for here. But this is my collection, damn it, so we're going to go through things that I have found to have a sort of particular impact on me, whether it be for one reason or the other. All of these songs are kind of personal to me. So without any further ado, let's kick this list off properly and start with number 10. Born with a Broken Heart by Damiano David. He's the lead singer of Maneskin. Well, he was. Well, no, I don't think they're broken up. They're on hiatus. Maneskin are this amazing Italian rock band. They kind of got notoriety for sort of covering, in fact, they're covering the Struts' Kiss This on Italian X Factor. And then they moved on to becoming a Eurovision winner. You know, that really funny one where everyone thought that Damiano was having a little on the stage, even though he absolutely, well, he's denied it, and his logic makes sense to me. Like, why would you do that? But anyway, he's got a solo album that came out last year. I'm gonna say it was his first kind of like breakout, and I'm not gonna lie, stylistically it's very different from Maneskin. He's kind of got this throwback kind of like indie pop rock. It's more of a kind of like artist thing, you know. They've like dressed him up. He's covered in tattoos and used to wear lots of leather. Now he wears, you know, the oversized shirt that's tucked into his trousers with the white vest and the pencil moustache. But he's a very pretty boy, so he definitely gets away with it. He released his first album, and this, I believe, was the first single from it, and boy god was I not expecting this. It's his massive, euphoric, kind of cheesy, but he gets away with it because it's so well executed. Kind of like, yeah, I don't know, I was going to say classic rock song. It's not really that rocky. It's kind of very piano-led, etc., which is not a bad thing. It's an amazing song, but definitely not the tone I was expecting from somebody who got famous for having a tattoo of Kiss This on his ass. But it's a great song. The music video is really good as well. Damiano comes off really nicely. I do think that was probably the best track on that album. I actually only ended up listening to a couple of songs on there. It kind of fell into a vibe that I was kind of less keen on. It was a little bit more kind of simpery, perhaps a little bit performative, but the song Born with a Broken Heart has got this really, really big chorus. It's got great harmonies. The song sort of is quite conversational and understated until he hits these big choruses, and this is going to be a common theme running down this list, that when you hit that big chorus that last time and you chuck everything up a tone or two, my god, does it hit differently. Like, I lost my mind the first time I heard this. In fact, I'm going to show you the clip of me reacting to it now. But baby, you can fix me. Ah, nice.
I take it all back. This song's the best thing ever because it's got one of those amazing key changes. Oh, I got shivers all over every single part of my body when that happened then.
But you can see why, right? Just the way that he like leads it with his voice as well. There's no guitar leading up to it or anything like that. It kind of slows down for just half a second, and you know it's coming back with something, but then he hits that note so clean, it's so high, and everything kind of like jumps out at the same time with it. It's just this big, euphoric, feel-good moment. You can't deny its power. It's excellent. Number 9. Love Will Probably Kill Me Before Cigarettes and Wine by Luke Spiller.
Love will probably kill me before cigarettes and wine.
Talking of solo artists coming out of bands and doing something a little more soulful, a little slower, a little bit more acoustic maybe, Luke Spiller from the Struts released, I think, his first solo album too last year. And again, I found the entire album to be, I'm trying not to say the word wanky now, but I guess I kind of just did. Coming from a band that's got so much kind of like, well, yeah, I guess, I mean, literally directly linked to the previous one with the Struts here, but, you know, the Struts are kind of like almost cock rock, you know, everything's very sexualized and gyrating. I can understand totally that both of these artists maybe wanted to distance themselves from that in their solo stuff, just to sort of show themselves as more well-rounded, so it's more softer, it's more ballady, way more piano, that kind of stuff. And again, I believe the first single from this album was Love Will Probably Kill Me Before Cigarettes and Wine, and again, it's this very kind of pleasing, it's very wordy, obviously, like that line there, Love Will Probably Kill Me, is the line from the chorus, right? It's quite conversational, it's very poetic, and he has this really, really amazing kind of like melancholy, kind of longing in his voice. Luke Spiller's a fantastic singer. He packs so much emotion in, and again, to be fair, I guess it works, because I'm totally like on board with him being able to do this like softer, more ballady stuff, kind of more introspective. It almost feels like him sort of reflecting upon the wilder parts of his life that he's sort of cataloging in the Struts, right? Then suddenly he starts to introduce more instruments. There's a string section, and it has this massive swell, and he takes that chorus and he belts it. He uses his like in-depth kind of rock and roll. He has a little bit of grit to it in a way that it's just amazing, and you just chuck that on a chorus at the end with a big fat key change, and my god, you have a recipe for hair standing up on the end.
But nothing's quite like you. I start to get the feeling that love will probably kill me before cigarettes and wine.
Because it's got this massive swell, then the song itself ends really tight again. It kind of slows down. You just get that final, I've taken all the pills that I could find this evening line, which is also kind of tragic in its, especially in the way it's delivered. It's all very melancholic. So just this emotional roller coaster it brings you on, the way that it swells your heart. I mean, I guess the vibe of the song, Love Will Probably Kill Me Before Cigarettes and Wine, it's kind of got this hopeless romantic feel to it, right? I'm sort of a bit of a waster. I sip my wine and I smoke my fags, but realistically, he's a romantic and he's more likely to die of a broken heart. So you kind of go on this journey with him, this blaze of glory kind of feel, and that key change is so integral to that journey. Number 8, Griftwood by Ghost. This wouldn't be a Renz list if I didn't include at least a Ghost song. There are a couple of songs I have with some good key changes in it, but Griftwood is absolutely my favourite. I think partially the hipster in me, just like it's not one that's got a music video. I don't think it's ever really been part of the live set list. Like, I saw them on the tour for Impera, they did not play it, so I feel like chances are it's not gonna rotate in very often. So I mean, nowadays it's really, really not hipstery to be a Ghost fan. Like, they have definitely blown up within their scene at least. It does have a really fat key change at the end. I mean, Tobias is an absolute master when it comes to song structure. He's very, very good. Like, a lot of them boil down to like superior versions of verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, right? But it's the way he kind of like leads sections into each other. He also makes the transitions between these sections really, really fluid, because there's always like multiple musical ideas kind of coming in from various places. It might be a harmony there, a descending guitar line there, and again, the song Griftwood itself has a very kind of like clever descending melody that follows most of it. So you've got this guitar line, and then the vocals have this very, very catchy repeated hook, the never ever suffer again. So it just keeps on going down and down. He has a really clever way of kind of segmenting it and having it move between sections. And then you finally get a break for a guitar solo, you get that final chorus, and you think maybe that's where it's going to end. And maybe you're just going to get a standard double chorus. And then that never ever suffer again is followed by another one. It's the harmony that leads in that key change for a second. It's so amazing. The echo of that last line of the first repeat of that chorus, just, and never ever suffer again, it goes up, and then you just get this other, even more elating chorus. The harmonies are flying everywhere. It's just the perfect payoff. It's the kind of thing you can't do too often, but when it's done well and executed well, it just puts so much more kind of pizzazz and passion in that last chorus, which is something that I think this song really, really excels in. Number 7. Cold Sweat by Church of the Cosmic Skull. Here is the one that I guarantee you most people probably have not heard of. I've not really heard of them. I don't know why or how I even stumbled into these guys. I think perhaps when I was like 18, 19, I had Discover Weekly on and Spotify just kind of like pumped it into me, and I liked it. They're this very strange English prog band, I'm gonna say, but they've kind of got this like a kind of American cult Heaven's Gate style thing. They all wear white. The lead singer / songwriter's got this kind of big beard and a hat, and everything's kind of like rainbows. It's a very, very well executed image. Some of the performances of different people in that band, they really, really commit to this cult gimmick. Like the dead-eyed stares, especially the keyboard player. My god, the keyboard player looks like he's been possessed, and everyone else has this kind of like blank, kind of devotional stares. It's very well executed. And actually, this whole album, I only know this one really, Science Fiction, is actually really great. But they have one song on there, which is the one I latched onto. It's the one that I show people, and it's called Cold Sweat. I'm not gonna lie, musically, this song is pretty simplistic. Lyrically, there's like 4 lines, and it's just about the way they cycle it. It kind of goes into these kind of like slightly psychedelic stops every now and then. Like you're gonna get a linchpin moment where the drums kick in, and you're gonna get this no 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 no, and it kind of breaks down for a second, and then like the harmonies are great because they've got loads of backing vocals. It seems like everybody sings in this song, so the harmonies when they explode out are amazing. The organ is just like thundering away, and I'm a big sucker for a rock organ. And then it kind of just wanders off into like kind of vaguely meandery guitar solos. You're almost at the point you're like, okay, let's get on with it. And then it treats you to this final chorus where everything finally picks up. It's had the longest sort of dropout section beforehand. Just have that drum for a second holding you by tension, and then boff, you get that chorus you've already heard like 50 times, that refrain you've already heard. I don't know whether or not maybe me having seen the music video really helps to kind of like bring the energy that they give to it, because again, like they all look like they've been possessed by the end of it. It's just this very big, again, kind of euphoric but quite weird moment that kind of like elevates it. But I tell you what, it's definitely a song that you won't forget once you've heard it once, and you will be able to sing along. You can sing along to it quite quickly, I will also admit. Number 6. I Just Had Sex by The Lonely Island. Again, it wouldn't be a Renz list if I didn't find always a squeaky comedy song of some sort in there, and I have definitely neglected The Lonely Island as of late. I grew up on this shit. I have literally got all 3 of their CDs on the CD. Like, I have physical copies because that's how old I am. And I Just Had Sex, I think, is probably their most iconic song. I feel like if you were to play that in public, more people than you'd realize would realize they know this one. It's great. It's there for a reason. It's got this really, really, again, anthemic, kind of like slowed down, hip-hop inspired pop chorus. The lyrics are silly, but I don't know. It's a kind of a feeling that most of us can relate to. There is a moment of going, yeah, like it genuinely has this euphoria. And again, the chorus itself like is layered with lots of backing vocals. You've got everyone singing at the same time, especially by the like very end when you've got like the sort of final comeback to that chorus, right? And there's loads of random little overdubs. You've got Andy Samberg going, "We all had sex." We all had sex. And like Akon's doing all this crazy vocal stuff. Like in the video, you can see, you know, Jessica Alba and all these people, they're all dancing along. It really gets you in this feeling, right? You're all there together, universally celebrating the fact that you just smooshed booties. And then it treats you to this key change. And my God. Like, you just can't get better than that feeling. It literally, the firework display that's going off in the background of that video perfectly encapsulates that feeling it gives you. You just want to punch your hand in the air and celebrate with these guys. It's a good time. It's a really, like, the thing that defines good comedy music versus bad comedy music. It's not the quality of the lyrics or how funny it is. That's obviously a factor, but it's not the main one. It's whether or not it actually stands as a good song. And I'm pretty sure if you were to change the lyrics from I Just Had Sex to something completely serious, it would still be a great song. I think that definitely more than entitles it a place on this list amongst all these other big hitters. Number 5. Sweet True Lies by Beast in Black. There's so many power metal songs I could have included on here, but it's just Beast in Black just hit in a way that makes me chuckle every time. It's like so well executed. Like I shouldn't be laughing, but it's just the perfect level of camp. And this song is one of the most perfect examples of that. Those lyrics are like so cliche. I think again, because they're not native English speakers, which is a big benefit, I think, of the power metal scene and stuff like this, is that everything comes off so earnest. Like people who, I mean, don't get me wrong, they speak beautiful English. Like most people from this scene speak better English than the average English person do, but there are certain idioms and sort of phrases that translate just kind of slightly differently, or maybe the specific kind of cultural significance of something being cheesy or not is just completely lost through the language barrier, which is great because it makes them so unchained. So something about baby, baby, tell me more of your lies. I don't know why, it's just so silly, I love it. And then to like really finesse it, there's a whip crack sound effect. Now I am a sucker for a well-placed sound effect, especially a whip crack, but it's not really a whip crack, it's more of a kind of bang, a firework, a gunshot, I don't know. It's great. It just really adds this fun energy to it. You're just bouncing through the whole thing. The chorus is great. The lead singer for Beast in Black's voice is amazing, by the way. Like, he sings very high, very purely. All of the synth programming is really, really nice. The harmonies are good. The guitar lines are kind of like, I don't know. I think this is one of the better examples of them not being too overindulgent. They're not too wanky, which is something that power metal, I think, can fall into a little bit, but not in this song. And then, of course, you get that final chorus. I mean, again, I've probably said that exact line a few times already on this list, but you get that final chorus. I think maybe because it starts so high already, you don't even really conceive that maybe he's even going to be able to sing up the tone, and then he does, and that whip crack just comes around again. Everything's firing at like utter, all cylinders, and it's just a good time. I tell you what, it's a great song for a treble. If you want to be savagely swinging your head left and right while you're doing that, that is the song for you. It's just so much fun. It encapsulates everything I love about power metal in one neat little package. Number 4. Bogus Operandi by The Hives. I'm a massive Hives fan. They're a little bit more, it's crazy to say that they're a little bit more serious than Beast in Black. I'm not sure that's true. They're just less camp, I guess, but it's sort of like more hard rock inspired. And this album was the first album they released after like their 10-year hiatus. The Death of Randy Fitzsimmons is amazing. If you haven't listened to it and you like The Hives or just kind of like general good old-fashioned hard rock and roll, that is an amazing album. And the title track, Bogus Operandi, is, I think, probably the best track on there. To start with, it's got this amazing like Evil Dead inspired music video that's just like really, really well executed, but it's got this fat, hard riff. And it repeats itself quite a lot of times, but it's just the tones are perfect. It's a thing you'll hear about the Hives 1,000 times over. They don't really reinvent the wheel, they just execute it perfectly. It's got this really energetic, like, kind of, I don't know, power to it that doesn't take itself too seriously, but it goes hard. It's fast, the tone's tight, and I will admit, I think that riff is really, really satisfying. I don't know whether or not maybe I put slightly more credence into it, because I'm like a mediocre guitarist, and I learned up that song just for funsies, and I will say, whacking on any Hive song, sticking your amp up really high and playing along is extraordinarily satisfying. So I've got this really, really beloved feeling of the way that song progresses. The vocals from Howlin' Pele are just so charismatic. He sings notes I don't think people were designed to be able to sing like that. Like, everything seems to be kind of like shouted, but like in tune. He's very, very charismatic. He gets away with, again, quite silly lyrics, honestly, and quite repetitive things, but he's just so excellent at what he does. It doesn't matter. There's lots of like I said kind of going on in the background, and that's when you suddenly get that key change at the end. He does this like I say, and then he screams, and suddenly everything goes up like 3 semitones, something like that. And again, you only get one repeat from it, but everything's so fast and so hectic that it just, like, you kind of blows you off your feet for a second. You're kind of not expecting the song to be able to pick up any more energy, and it turns out that little trick at the end really, really works. It's just a really fun song that has got this really great kind of pushing energy to it, and the key change absolutely kind of reinforces that at the end. Number 3. Would You Love a Monster Man by Lordi. So this is actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the first Lordi single ever. Like, this was the demo that ended up being the proof of concept, and it's still one of their classics. It's kind of got more of their kind of heavy influence. I think as they've gone on, they've become significantly more kind of glam, even disco in places, which is great. I love the all of the stylistic stuff, but I will say that the earlier stuff where they kind of hit just a little bit more kind of actual metal, they kind of hit with me really nicely. But I'm a big fan of like theatrical metal. I like characters and stuff like that. If you couldn't tell by like Ghost and other songs that are later to come into this list. So Lordi are great visually for that stuff as well. Lordi's backing is like kind of power metal-y, but like a bit more black metal inspired. I'd say it's one of the heavier ones, but Mr. Lordi's voice is like very character driven, right? Like, he spends literally the entirety of their catalog kind of growling. Everything is this kind of character he's created. It on paper should annoy me. I have played Lordi to other people, and that is the thing they don't like about it, but I think the harmonies that the keyboard players have added to these songs over the years, that is the thing that separates them out. It's just this, the synth lines and the backing vocals just make it so that those kind of growling vocals, they anchor the songs, right? They bring this kind of like narrative to them and the character, but they don't like totally dominate it. It's not like a Slipknot song where everything is for a really, really extended period of time, which I think to me is what maybe is part of their secret special sauce. So you've got a song like Would You Love a Monster Man, which is this quite fun, bombastic, like the drums are going like fucking quickly. It's almost got like a kind of Rob Zombie kind of industrial techno kind of sound to it, which I think Lordi kind of lost as a sound over time. But the chorus is very kind of flowing. It's very catchy. And again, like most of the songs on this, it just resolves itself with this final, like, drum fill that goes into this duku, 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 like, it teases you. You know it's coming, but they hold you off for, like, just another half a bar, then suddenly, up we go. You get that final other screaming thing, and with Mr. Lordi, you know he's actually screaming to hit those higher notes. It's just something that you can really shout along to when you're at the gym, or if you're, I don't know, just smashing shit. Whatever it is good for getting some energy out. Number 2. Cry to Heaven by Creeper. Now, I've been on a massive Creeper kick recently, so it's no surprise I found a way to include them on this one. They're just such an underrated band, especially the two Sangravore albums. I quite like most of their catalogue, but those two are like pieces of art. They're like this crazy mixture of, like, I don't know, black metal mixed with like kind of camp and glam. It's kind of Meatloaf, but angstier. It crosses all of these genres, but it's just executed so perfectly. It's so dramatic and theatrical and delivered perfectly. Freaking Will's voice is amazing, and they've got a couple of songs with some bangers of a key change in it. I very almost include Praying for the Night, but I've talked about that song enough times on this channel, so I went back to Sangravore 1 and picked out Cry to Heaven. I reckon you could make a fairly compelling case is one of their just objectively best songs. It's so kind of like grandiose. His vocal delivery is, he's definitely doing, obviously it's like kind of about vampires, but he's definitely doing this like very almost Dracula-ish kind of like delivery. He kind of goes down there. It's almost camp. It is camp. It would be silly if it wasn't so convincingly pulled off, so like authoritatively delivered. It's wonderful. And the backing vocals, again, is a big theme here of female backing vocals carrying songs like this, but the back and forth between the two singers in Creeper are amazing, especially because they really are a back and forth in this one. It's a two-part call and response, and what's kind of interesting is the backing vocal starter. It's Cry to Heaven, and then he kind of answers in a less melodic way, but it's this big, epic storytelling song, and just a song like that just so needs this big push at the end. It just flips itself up into another gear. The backing vocals are kicking up just that extra little bit of passion there. Will's putting even more kind of drama and theatre into the way he delivers those lyrics. Guitars are soaring, the organ is there. It's just such a thick, full sound. It just really pulls me in. It makes me feel like I'm part of this Creeper universe. I want to run around in a blood-stained white shirt loosely hanging off my pale body. That sounded weird. But yeah, that's the kind of feeling it inspires in me. It's just this big cathartic push, this dramatic ending, and I love it. Number 1. The Last Stand by Sabaton. Now, I could have picked quite a few Sabaton songs. I haven't listened to this one in a while because it's actually the first Sabaton song I ever heard. And actually, I think it might even be the first power metal song I ever listened to when, I quite like that, and came back to it again. Like, my housemate at the time, Fabio, he was the one that kind of shared it with me. And honestly, I can probably credit this song with large portions of my musical taste being developed out of it. It's just so ridiculous. But again, the story that is as long as this list is that it's executed perfectly. The lead singer of Sabaton has got some sort of war barbarian bards kind of like qualities to it that only he can do. You cannot replicate the Sabaton music without his voice. It's just beautifully epic. It takes itself just seriously enough, and this song is just the epitome of what makes the ridiculousness of Sabaton work. Like, it's so epic, like it's so wordy as well. You don't hear native English speaking bands are often using phrases like papal commendation, things like that. They've got a very, very wordy kind of bridge section. I mean, it's all about the Swiss Guard, right, as far as I can make out. Like, because every Sabaton song is about something legitimately, like, you know, historical, which is part of their charm. And it's just like the way that he has this kind of very kind of wordy da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. This is all about this epic battle of the Swiss Guard. And then, again, you can't execute a key change better than this. Like, it becomes very operatic. I mean, there's opera kind of like backing singers throughout most of this song, but they really, really double down at the end. And they actually dedicate like an entire couple of bars. It slows down, bash, 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 bash. Everything slows down. It's literally like a combination of an opera. It all goes in the grace of God. Everyone's firing, and then boom. Again, he's got the kind of voice that does not sound like it should be able to go any higher with the kind of grit he's adding to it, and yet somehow he does. Honestly, I've never felt more like I wanted to wield a sword than in the moment that that chorus kicks in. I just want to be on a horseback, just swinging at barbarians. It's just this crazy, rousing, stoic, powerful song that's only made better by this massive key change. It's kind of camp. It's all kind of camp. I get that. The entire list, as much as I'm saying it sounds serious, we all know what we're talking about here, but in the moment, I can fully just embrace that feeling, and it's why I love it so much. Just stick any of these songs on loud in a car and scream your little heart out. You'll finish the journey not being able to talk, and that's kind of the point. So yeah, Sabaton is rounding that one out with just, I think, possibly the best execution of a key change you can possibly hit. That was my list. I'm very curious to see what you guys say in the comments. I want to hear all your personal favorite key change moments, because I'm sure there's thousands and I'm going to miss them. So any ones that you can show me, I'd very much like to add to my playlist, because I have an entire playlist dedicated just to this when I'm feeling like a pick-me-up. So let me know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. If you did like the video, a subscription goes a long way towards boosting my channel and helping me create more content like this. Other than that, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.